Hello, and welcome to this week's video blog from the Center for Human Awakening. My name is Rob Meager. I'm co-founder of the center along with Richard Harvey. In this week's video blog, we'll share a reading from Richard Harvey's book, Your Essential Self. And our reading is titled, The Lessons of the Father and the Mother. The primary paradigm for how we relate to others and to life is drawn from our experience of the family we were born into, particularly our first models, our parents. In our personal relationships, we recreate the unresolved emotional dynamics that are left over from our early experience of family. Virtually everyone who comes to inner work is motivated, consciously or unconsciously, by their historical family dynamic. So the present conditions that reflect our unresolved family issues are priceless opportunities for release, change, and freedom. Some people who come to see me go to great lengths to reassure me that their childhoods were happy and that their parents were caring and loving, before I have asked them anything at all. Their confessions have an air of self-soothing and delusion, and I can only be and feel bewildered and inquisitive. It is like the friend who announces without prompting or warning that he is not angry. This person is angry, and the people who attempt to persuade me of the virtues of their parents and the positive attributes of their upbringing are hiding something. The family is a ferment of need and desire, longing and frustration, love and hate, beauty and challenge, confrontation and nurture. Our passions, fears, and desires are manifested and magnified in the melting pot of the family, and they are intensified beneath the hothouse layers of protection and concealment. The inner seeker, who is obsessed with the virtues of his parents, has confused the ideal with the actual. Our notion of the ideal is associated with the term archetype. Archetypal comes from two words, archaic and typical, and it means the original model or the perfect example. The word expresses something all of us understand. For example, when we think child, we think of certain qualities like innocence, openness, and purity. This is because we share a collective inherited unconscious idea, thought pattern, or image. So it is with mother and father. Each parent offers a profound lesson that provides a foundation for living. The lesson of the father is, nothing we do will ever make us feel loved. Our fathers learn this from their own fathers, and although it may instill a wound in the psyche, it can lead us to invaluable insights. Working with the lesson of the father teaches us to distinguish doing from being and allows us to bring the two into the right relationship. When being precedes doing, our actions are rooted in an inner sense of self. Nothing we do will ever make us feel loved because we yearn to be loved for ourselves, not for what we do. Doing as a means to love sends us on a frustrating cycle of trying harder to be better, to deserve love. Even if we receive praise for what we do, we have to try harder to be loved simply for being. But all our efforts are futile. The Father's lesson reveals the deep truth that love can have no object other than itself. Just as love simply is, we want to be loved for simply being. Nothing else will satisfy us. The reassuring and, if we open to it, deeply healing words, "I love you just as you are," affirm our worthiness and lovableness. When our parents fail to give us the love we need, we have to find it in ourselves. Spiritually, as well as biologically, the father principle is the creative, engendering force. He provides the active impulse through which we come into existence. Men characteristically spend their time in external acts of creation, devising, planning, and realizing projects like commerce, architecture, transportation systems, and war. In an unconscious, often irresponsible need to control and dominate Mother Nature, the great embodiment of the mother principle. In contrast, the mother embodies a sense of being that generates inner creation. Our bodies, emotions, and senses are all associated with the inherited directly from our mothers, as is our attitude to them. The feeling world relates to our mothers as the thinking world relates to our fathers. Mother's closeness to the cycles and currents of nature within and outside her own body affects us directly even before birth. We absorb her emotions, sensations, and experiences in the womb and are later permeated by them in infancy. Our individual mothers stand before the mother archetype. The mother archetype is nourishing and healing. She stands for nature and abundance in all its life-giving aspects. She is the embodiment of all-embracing love, and the lesson of the mother is love is more than any individual expression of itself. The mother's love is unconditional. She teaches us about love through her expression of it, through her loving essence, whether this is hidden or expressed. She teaches us the lesson that the universal is to be found in the particular, that divine love can be reflected and expressed in human love. The lesson of the mother shows us that love is real and not just an ideal. Whatever trials and disappointments we may go through on the path to love, we may always return to the certainty that individual expressions of love are reflections of our deeper state, the essence of our being. As our experience of love deepens, we become more intimate with it and with the partner we share it with. But even as love becomes more personal, we become aware of its impersonal aspect. It is as if we are drawing on a vast reservoir to nourish our worldly life. Love can be all-consuming and personally transporting, and it can make us behave in irrational ways. Love has the power to lessen the hold of our small sense of self and hurl us into an experience of ecstasy by opening our heart. The elation of love gives us a taste of freedom beyond our individual self. The mother's lesson can be compromised in various ways and may also leave a psychological scar. If the mother is possessive and jealous, it can degenerate into competition, as in, your mother is the only one who loves you, or no other woman is as good as me. It can assume the threat of retribution or implied punishment, as in, I am unhappy, and if you leave me and become happy, you will be disloyal to me, or when you grow into a man, you will mistreat me like your father did. Or it can be expressed in a reverse symbiotic relationship in which the mother takes what she needs in the guise of giving love and affection to her child. Later on, this may manifest in the mother masquerading as a peer, for example, or by creating a sisterly relationship with her daughter, thinly masking the hidden dynamic. I live through you, with the justification that her daughter gives her back the young life that she lost when she gave birth to her.